a summer ritual for some of us. And while glamping is very appealing, it may be out of reach for some. So we've got a happy middle ground here. DIY expert Christian Dare has tips. I love this. So I actually want to show up at a tent and have a king-size bed inside of it.
Yeah.
However, if you can't have that experience, this is gorgeous.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I'm not a camper also.
Right.
I don't know. I went to Boy Scouts. Somehow it didn't stick. Now I'm here. But I went on a glamping trip lately, and they had a king-size bed. It was massive. You can rent these giant tents, but it gets pricey.
It does.
I mean, it's still more affordable than an expensive hotel, but it gets pricey.
Yeah.
So there's a couple tips we have here that you can actually incorporate into your regular camping.
Okay,
Even if you've got that standard tent, the whole idea is how do you elevate it?
All right, so what do you do?
What do you do? So I actually learned an interesting history fact. So even though glamping only got into the dictionary in 2016, glamping dates back to the 15th century.
Really?
Royalty, when you think about it. They set up these giant tents, they bring in their beds, they bring in chairs, right? Because it was like, how do you live outdoors, but still with like the comforts of home, right? So the biggest trick I find is shopping in a home store.
Okay.
And in an outdoor store. Because what you want to do is have that combination, right? So for example, like, bring carpets. So having carpets, because you don't really want to be on the grass, and then even the tent base of that sort of nylon is not great. And then also consider upgrading sort of like your bedding.
So look
bring
at
bedding
this.
from
I
home.
mean, this is gorgeous. You've got all the cushions, you know, all those annoying cushions on the bed for all of the husbands watching. It looks appealing to me.
So especially now they even make like mattresses with frames that blow up. So you can be off the ground and bring in your bedding. Like you already have those sheets, right? They're way more comfortable than a sleeping bag.
Totally. Okay, so you've also have some cool, you know, accessories
Yeah,
here.
so great accessories from home. Like I actually set this up if you want to do this in your backyard as your mom escape from the kids. Like bring a chair out, a glass of wine, your favorite book.
Right.
Just tell them you're going to the backyard, you need an hour alone.
You just need a door and a lock.
Exactly, right? But yeah, so this could easily be just...
They will find you in there.
Chair from off your patio, some great throws. And then also, if you have to go to a camping store, because sometimes you do for necessities, pick out ones in fashion colors.
That is so
cute. So this is a high-end cooler, but it comes in like a peachy color, which is great,
I love it. That's beautiful.
And I know most husbands may not be into sort of the peach, but what you can tell them is no one will steal their peach cooler.
That's true.
It's an expensive cooler. No one's going to steal it from them.
And your beer is in there.
Yes,
so we're
that's
good.
very important. And then you want to also like upgrade your lighting.
That's
so like there's so many great patio light options now. This one runs on batteries. There's a bunch of solar ones. But just instead of those sort of like industrial camping lanterns, right?
Right.
So something more interesting. But if you can't find that, there is a secret DIY besides the tent in this room. Can you spot it?
There's a DIY in this room.
Beside this, except for the tent.
Okay. I don't know. What is it?
So this lantern is actually normally your traditional red lantern.
Oh,
you spray painted gold.
That. That's beautiful.
Right? So it still works. And then
think about how much money you would pay for something like that if you didn't do that spray paint job on it. It looks like a beautiful high-end object.
Furniture store would do that, right? And
Very
it's really
nice.
just like not even a whole can of spray paint, right?
Yes.
Super easy. The glass actually comes right out when you open it up. So you just spray it. Very easy.
Cute.
It's like that instant hit of luxe, which is what you want to have in glamping.
I have to say, I was shocked to hear that this was your DIY. I said to Christian, so where'd you get this? He's like, it's a DIY project, Tracy.
It's like the lumber yard.
I made it. So let's show them how you made it.
Yeah, exactly. It's very easy.
Okay. So it starts with the two sort of main pieces, the frame, right?
So what you want to do is you want to go to a lumber yard. The whole frame cost me under $20 to make.
Lovely.
So very inexpensive. So you actually want to buy 2x2s, pine 2x2s.
Yeah.
And these are actually 8 feet right off the shelf. I don't know if they call it that in lumberyard, off the shelf.
I get it.
So you don't even have to cut them because it's actually the length of your curtains.
Okay.
And then you're just going to drill a hole in the top so you can basically hinge it with a bolt.
Yep.
So that makes both your ends.
Okay.
Very simple.
So 2 of those.
2 of those. And if you wanted to, you could stain them, you could paint them, anything you want to do. I wanted to keep them kind of rustic, because there's something interesting about glamping is you want that combination of rustic and luxe.
Yeah, I agree.
So if like this was gold, it might be too much.
Right.
I mean, if you want that, you could do it. It's like Versailles or something, right?
People would be like, get out of the campsite with your gold tent.
And then so once you made the 2, you actually are going to make a bottom crossbar.
All right.
So this guy right down here, which just attaches to both of them.
And this is going to keep it a little bit sturdy.
Keep it sturdy. And the way you measure that, this is the trick, is the same width as your tab top curtains.
Right, and those you're just going to get off the shelf once again,
yeah,
right?
off the shelf. So I'd seen a couple times when people make them themselves, sewing, glue. I didn't want to do any of that. Like, let's be honest. I love DIY, but I love like an easy DIY. So yeah, it's just tab-top curtains.
Yep.
And then this might be the trickiest part of the entire project.
Oh, boy.
And I apologize.
Okay.
But the effectiveness of this sort of setup is to do a back and forth.
Okay. So you match them up, the two
You match
together.
them up, and you're just going to
making a
alternate.
Nice little,
You're just
you're
going to alternate. So very simple. And one of the tricks I learned while doing this
Yeah.
is if you do a quick sand job to your board,
Yes.
it slides on easier because it is rough wood.
Okay.
But what you can do is you can pick almost any color of curtain, any width of curtain, and you just start sliding them on. So it's really quite simple.
Okay, so think about all the things you can also do with that curtain. So you got those at IKEA.
These guys were IKEA.
So right off the shelf, you didn't have to get anything custom made.
Nope.
But because it's that material, if you wanted, you could do art on that.
Yeah.
You could tie-dye
Even
it.
yeah, times before where we've done sort of screen printing. Even if you
Yeah.
want it to be more kid-friendly, you could easily have them make a design on it.
Right.
Right? And you could literally make it any size. Like I know I was
Yeah.
talking earlier about this is a great adult size. It's great for mom and dad, et cetera,
Right.
et cetera. But you could make it a shorter tent.
You could, or
Right?
you could make it a huge tent.
You could make it a huge tent.
But
right?
be careful with the support system.
Yeah.
Make sure you've got those brackets at the bottom. Maybe make them a little bit thicker so you know
So
it's going to
once
hold up.
You get all these on, which is always easier at home. Right? But they just slide on. That's all you're going to keep doing. I'll just do the front part and then we'll get it.
And the point of it also, the reason why you go back and forth alternating it is just so that you don't have any of
Too many gaps,
You don't have
exactly.
the gaps.
So it's really easy.
Okay.
And then this guy, I skipped the back a little bit, but we can see it for sure now, is
Just
sits
holds.
right on top there.
That is awesome.
And then you just spread it out.
Good stuff.
This guy
Okay,
comes
this
forward.
is even good for a fort at home,
Yeah.
guys.
And then
Fun. Yeah.
it is a little bit long.
Yeah.
But one of the really easy tricks, because you've left a space at the bottom, is you just actually tuck it under.
I would like to
Here,
help,
I
but
will help
everyone's
you.
going to see my goodies if I go down.
But you
I
just
didn't wear a
tuck it.
tent building dress today. I didn't know.
And if you're worried about the sides,
Yeah.
peel and stick Velcro.
Oh, nice. So you
So you
can
can actually just
take
put a
all
steel and
these
stick
down.
Velcro. Yeah, so you can take it down. You could use a staple gun. I
Yeah.
purposely wanted to Velcro because then you can take it apart at the end.
That's right.
You can launder this if it sits outside too long, right? You
I
can
love
move it
it.
around. Very simple.
I can see families using this in so many different ways. You know, even non-families. Go out there, have some fun with yourself. You can make your own little private oasis. I think it's great.
One last trick I learned.
Tell me.
Because I hate creases, but I hate
Yes.
steaming.
Yeah.
So if it's outside, spray it down.
Yeah.
And with the sun, all these creases will fall out for you.
Look at you.
That's what I did on the other tent.
With
So it's
your
very easy.
tips. Very good. I like it. I'm still not going to go camping unless there's a king-size bed in there. No, they're very
But it's
good
great.
though.
You can set up
It's
in the
gorgeous.
backyard. And what the thing I learned is the one rule about glamping.
Yes.
Don't tell kids about glamping.
Oh, that's
Because then they're
true.
going to want to join you.
That's right. Shh. They don't get
They
to know.
can rough it.